You do. Right here.
I have one apparently. That's it?
Yep.
All right. All right, I'll just go ahead and read through and just acknowledge your presence by saying aye. Tony Rosworski. Absent. John Dennis. Aye. Kevin Underwood. David Byers.
Aye.
Larry Lebron.
Aye.
Harry Brown. Peter Bunder.
Aye, here.
Gary Henryoff.
Cindy Murray.
Cindy, Ben Murray.
Aye.
We got Cindy and Ben.
Yes.
Shane
Yes.
Spears. Shane Spears. That's all I got. Well, I got a back sheet. Stephen Miner. Angelica Salgado. David Hiddle.
Here.
Klein. David there. Stu, are you here? Dennis Carson.
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm not a voting member.
Okay. Dave Griffey. Scott Walker. Philip Dunstan. Randy Anderson. Jay Mitchell. All right, we have enough for a quorum?
Yes, Mayor, that front sheet is the voting members, so we do have enough for a quorum, yes.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the November 10th, 2022 meeting. I'll entertain a motion and a second for approval.
Move for
Empty
approval.
shot.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 And the agenda is approved. Next is the Teal Road project update, and that is from NDOT. Who's taking this one?
Yes, this is Jessica Miller. I'm here for NDOT today to discuss the Teal Road project for you. So what is completed so far? The majority of the signal work is complete. Utility relocations are underway. There's ongoing work on the MSC walls and railings, as well as patching has been completed. What items are left? Miller Pipeline utility relocations delayed the plan to get permanent HMA paving operations complete prior to the temperatures dropping. So now they are pouring back as many driveways, working on curb and gutter prior to the holiday shutdown. The priority driveways will be west of Old US 231 intersection on the north side of the road. And then any updates or lane closures. The contractor's working to complete full depth patching, widening, and wedging by December 17th, which will give the MOT contractor time to work on layouts, temporary striping prior to the phase 2 traffic switch before the holiday shutdown. The holiday shutdown will take place from December 19th until January 2nd, 2023. The phase 2 MOT has a construction area as the east side of the road on Old US 231 to the 4th Street intersection, and south side of the road to East 4th Street to 30th Street. The 4th Street intersection reconstruction hard closure is still set for June 1st of 2023 to August 1st of 2023. The pipe crews will be coming back in the beginning of January to continue working on drainage structures during the winter months. Also, if we get unseasonably warm weather through January and March, there will also be concrete crews coming back in to work on curb, sidewalk, and or driveway pours. And then the work that they're planning to complete in 2023 construction season, barring any unresolved utility conflicts, 18th Street, 9th Street, and 4th Street intersection work should be completed before school lets back in. And remaining drainage structures, widening, curbs, and resurfacing through the corridor will hopefully be completed before the end of the 2023 calendar year, but will be dependent on utility delays.
Okay. Any questions for Jessica? Thank you.
And I can share this set of notes for you as well. If you have any additional questions, you can always email me.
Very cool. Anything else? Okay, thank you
I don't
very
have
much, Jessica.
Thank you.
I judge by the silence that the answer is no. Next
I
item.
just want
Next item is Resolution T22-14, resolution to amend the fiscal year 2022 to 2026 Transportation Improvement Program, the TIP, and this will be Doug.
Good afternoon, everybody. We have a request from the Indiana Department of Transportation, specifically the central office, for a safety project. This safety project involves wrong-way crashes. The Office of Traffic Safety recently did an evaluation of these crashes and found over a 10-year period that there were 168 of those. While that does not sound like that many, if you look further into the weeds, there were 40 fatalities and 149 injuries of those 168 crashes. So that's pretty significant. So the decision is to upgrade the wrong-way signage at specific locations. There are two types of projects that will be in this amendment. One is installing wrong-way signage with LED lights, and those LED lights will flash continually. The second type of fix or improvement will be the same, wrong-way lights with the flashing LEDs, but they will be on a detection system. So when a vehicle is detected going the wrong way, they will activate and then flash. There are two locations where these additional signages will be placed here in Tippecanoe County. At the State Road 43 northbound off-ramp, the wrong-way signs will be continually flashing. And then on the State Road 38 interchange, both the northbound and southbound exit ramps will receive the second type of countermeasure with the new signage and with the detection units. Looking at the specific project information, you will notice that these specific phases, preliminary engineering and construction, are all going to occur within this fiscal year. And you also see the cost for this project, and this is only for Tippecanoe County. The Technical Transportation Committee did review it at their last meeting and recommended approval. And the Area Plan Commission staff is also recommending approval of this amendment to the TIP. Are there any questions or comments that I can answer?
Questions for Doug? Sounds good, Doug. I think everybody got what you said. Next item is
Mayor, pardon me.
Yes.
We'll need a vote. We'll need a vote on that for approval. I'm sorry.
okay. Did not see that on my agenda. All righty. I presume that because we're doing partial in and partial out, we have to have a roll call vote. So I'll go ahead and call the roll. And this will be on Resolution T22-14, a resolution to amend the fiscal year 2022 to 2026 Transportation Improvement Program.
For the record, could we get a motion and a second to make it official, please?
So moved.
Second.
Who made the motion? I couldn't hear that.
Barry Brown.
Second, Ben Murray.
And then, thank you. All right, we'll do a roll call vote then. John Dennis, aye. David Byers,
Aye.
Larry Leverett,
Aye.
Barry Brown,
Aye.
Peter Bunder,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
Ben.
Aye.
Shane. Is Shane Spears with us?
No, he wasn't able to
Shane is-
make it today.
Okay. Dennis Carson. Any voting? No, these aren't non-voting members. All right, did I miss anybody? Okay, motion passes.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the adoption of the statewide 2023 safety performance measures and targets. And this is Tim.
Okay, so we have several different performance measures and targets to adopt today. I'm going to try to walk you through these in general. I'm not going to go over every number, but the first kind of set of measures would be those related to safety. So there are 5 different types of performance measures that we have here. And what we typically do with these performance measures is that we have the option to either support what INDOT has chosen as their performance measures, or we can set our own. And we have always chosen to support INDOT's measures. Setting your own is quite a complicated process, and it's pretty intensive, and we think it's just easier and better to work with our partners at INDOT on this. That's what we've chosen to do again with all these performance measures. The specific numbers as far as different types of targets for safety are listed in the packet. It's for number of fatalities, rate of fatalities, number of serious injuries, rate of serious injuries per 100 million miles traveled, and number of non-motorized fatalities and non-motorized serious injuries. So that's the first set of performance measures that we're looking to approve. The next kind of set is regarding bridge decks. So this is only bridge decks on the national highway system, which is a little bit difficult for us because all of the national highway system bridges in our MPA are under the jurisdiction of INDOT. So we do not have any projects that contribute toward this one. However, for completeness, we still choose to support INDOT's measures. That is noted in the letter that we will send to them. Then the next set of performance measures relates to on-source or on-road mobile source emissions and reliability. So this is several performance measures with regard to air quality. We are an attainment area. So again, we do not have any of the CMAQ funds, which are typically what most MPOs use for projects to support these performance measures. But again, similar to the NHS situation, we still go ahead and approve these performance measures for completeness. And then we also have in this set of performance measures that they sent us some things about reliability. So they have interstate percentage of person miles, non-interstate percentage of person miles, and truck travel time reliability index. So those are kind of some engineering calculations that they make. Again, not to get too much into those, I think that's a little bit outside of the scope of what we need to talk about, but if there are questions, I will be happy to take those. And then our next set is about pavement specifically. So we have interstate pavement in good and poor condition and percentage of non-interstate national highway system pavement in good and poor condition. And again, we're kind of in the same situation as with the bridges, where all of the NHS routes are under INDOT's jurisdiction, and as well as the interstate. So again, this isn't something that we can really put any of our funding towards because they're not our roads, but we still want to go ahead and support these targets for completeness. Okay, so that should be everything. Are there any questions?
Questions for Tim? All right. Thank you very much, Tim. And this is an actionable item. So I will ask for those who approve, please indicate by saying I want to say your name. John Dennis, aye. Yes, go ahead, Tim.
Excuse me. So for this one, we have something kind of unique. So,
boy.
yeah. Can anybody see this motion I have on the screen? We have kind of some very specific wording that we would like to use.
Okay. I have no visual. All I have is audio.
I move that the Policy Board of Lafayette MPO supports the state's performance measures and targets for safety, pavement condition, bridge condition, on-road mobile source emissions, and reliability, and authorize the Executive Director to sign the letters expressing that support.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. John Dennis, aye. David Byers,
Aye.
Larry Leverett,
Aye.
Harry Brown,
Aye.
Peter Bunder,
Aye.
Andy Murray,
Aye.
Ben Murray,
Aye.
and that's it. All right, motion approved. Thank you all very much. Next item on the agenda is the APC progress report.
And I'll be handling those, Mayor.
Okay.
The first thing that I'd like to cover is kind of give you, before we jump into this annual commuting trends, give you an update regarding the development of the new Transportation Improvement Program. It is currently underway, and today or tomorrow is actually a key milestone in that it is the deadline to submit for the local call of projects. We have asked agencies, whether it be cities, county, or whatnot, to submit your project requests, and tomorrow we are to receive those. And then next Monday and Tuesday, we will assemble them in one table. And actually Wednesday, we go live with the draft project requests. We already have a draft table from NDOT that we received late last week, so that one is ready to go. And we will be rolling that out not only on our web, but also presenting it to our Citizens Participation Committee. Actually, next week is when we start rolling out all of the TIP information following our public participation process. The next critical milestone in the TIP development comes the January Tech meeting. We will be discussing with the Technical Transportation Committee members our federal funding, the project requests, and actually working through the allocation in terms of we only have an X amount of dollars to spend. Which projects are we going to spend those? And at that time, we will come up with a financially constrained plan. And then after that, it's basically putting the document together. The deadline self-imposed on us to get it done and sent to NDOT is February 24th. And that's going to be coming up fairly quickly. And the reason why it is a fairly short timeline is because we are developing this in conjunction with NDOT developing their statewide transportation improvement program. So we are planning to present the draft document to the technical committee in April for recommended approval, and then in May, keeping our fingers crossed, present it to this board for approval. So just a quick update in terms of that major document. Are there any questions or comments?
Questions for Doug? All right.
Okay, I'll
Thank you so much.
go on to the second item. This is some really neat information, and we haven't presented it in quite a while. And this comes from the Indiana Business Research Center, which is with the IU Kelley School of Business. But if you were curious in terms of workers and where they live and where they commute to, this should answer some of those questions. These are based on Indiana's IT-40 tax returns, and this information is from 2020. And on top, you can see workers and commuters, the number of people who live in Tippecanoe County and work, a little over 111,000. But interestingly, if you look at commuters, the number of people who live in Tippecanoe County but work outside the county, a little over 6,000 persons. And the number of people who live in another county or state and work in Tippecanoe County, that's over 20,000 persons. Big difference. And then right below that, we have the top five, almost like a David Letterman list in terms of counties sending workers into Tippecanoe County. Of course, the big one is Carroll County with almost 3,000 workers. And then the top five counties sending workers from Tippecanoe County are basically going out. The top one is out of state with almost 1,000 employees. And then the number two is Marion County. Interestingly, on page 2 is a little more detail. You can look at it later time. But again, these tables with information over the past 10 years. So again, we haven't really presented this information in quite a while, and it just came up, and we thought we would like to share it with this committee. So any questions or comments?
All right.
Okay, thank
Anything
you.
else, Doug?
I got a couple more items. Another one is a map here. Of course, we have a map, and that we are working on a road safety audit for South Street, and this is between Sagamore Parkway and I-65. Specifically, we are looking at crashes, and then we will be having a in-field discussion with various different persons, groups, organizations, and agencies. And because we're getting closer to the winter, we are going to have that probably in the spring, since this is a large area. But we would like to show one product of this, and that is a crash heat map. Just to give you an idea, the crashes that we looked at were from January 1, 2016 through July 31st of 2021. Within that period, there were 1,914 crashes along South Street. Surprisingly and fortunately, there were only 2 fatalities, and there were only 389 injuries, so most of them were just property damage. But if you look on this map, you see the bullseye there right at Creasy Lane. That is the top intersection in this corridor. In that time period, there were 360 crashes. The number 2 intersection, believe it or not, was Farrington, 202 crashes. And then the third was the 65 southbound ramp crash location with 180 crashes. And I will say at that intersection, if you were getting off the interstate and heading south and then making a right turn onto South Street, the chances are good that you'll get into a rear end crash, because that is the number one crash type in this whole corridor. There was over 130 crashes at that specific instance. So again, we will be doing a major look at this with the different agencies in the spring. We are planning to do something different in that we are putting together a public survey to look at the crash, to get the public comments and feedback. Generally, we don't involve the public in these, but we thought since this is such a large area, it would be interesting to see, what the perceptions are of the general public versus what the actual data is. So we're hoping to do that during the winter months. So basically, we just wanted to give you an update of this huge project. Any comments or questions on this?
Good work. The visual is pretty dynamic.
Mm-hmm. 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 And the next thing I have to present is something that we really rarely see, and this comes directly from NDOT. They sent this on November 21st, and this is basically a their TIP financial summary amendment. And if you look at most of the data, nothing really has changed. But we thought what was most interesting is the yellow section there or in the document. And at first, when we started looking at these numbers, it's like, wow, they're spending this much money. So we thought we'd like to share this information with you. If you look at the yellow section, I-69 Section 6, if you look at the estimated 22 to 25 costs for this project and see the numbers, if you total those four up, you'll get over $1.3 trillion. That's just kind of mind-blowing. The Clear Path project, that is the I-69 465 East project. And that summary, if you could go back to the yellow section, please, Tim. That is over $464 million. The North Split project, that is the I-6570 reconstruction of that interchange, basically in downtown Indianapolis. That is over $258 million. The Ohio River Crossings project, I-69, $257 million. And then the Sherman-Milton Corridor project, that's basically over $60 million. So, we know they have these big projects going on, but not a really good handle of how much they're actually spending on this. But, when this data came through our office, we thought we would like to share it to you to give you an idea of how much money these road projects are costing. So, comments or questions?
That's a lot of money.
Okay.
All right.
I have one more thing, and then I probably will be done, and that is the 18-month letting list. In looking at it, thank you for scrolling to it. The first three projects were actually on a November bid letting, and the information you can see on the screen, two of the projects were together, and that they were both on US 231. Unfortunately, both of the bids were rejected, and the reason why is because the bids were over the engineer's estimate. The low bid was $13.7 million. So I looked around and could not find if it's been put on the schedule. I didn't see it for the January bid letting, but the information is indicated that it will be on a future bid letting. The new traffic signal, basically making it permanent on US 52 at the State Road 28 East Junction, that project was awarded to Midwestern Electric for a little over $322,000. The estimated completion date is October 27th of 2023. Going back to the first page, projects 4, 5, 6, and 7 are on the December letting, which was on the 7th yesterday. The one I'd like to point out, of course, is the McCutcheon Pedestrian Safety Project. The bids that were submitted, and if I remember correctly, there were three. The low bid was Milestone at $1,296,330, which is a little over $200,000 more than the estimate, if my math is correct. So it was more than what we actually accounted for in our TIP allocation. So right now we're going to be looking at what to do with that, realizing that in the January bid letting, the Yeager Road project is coming up. So that will be, or is still on a January 19th bid letting. The only change that really occurred in the 18-month list is Project 11, and that is the auxiliary lanes on 52, and it moved from a March to an April letting. But all of the other ones that have been on the list for a while have remained the same. There are no new ones. So in a nutshell, that's a summary of the 18-month letting list. Any questions or comments?
Questions for Doug? All right. Thank you so much. Good stuff, Doug. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next is quarterly report. Kim, is there anything from you on that?
Yes. So I'm not necessarily going to go over all the projects, but did want to kind of hit a few of the highlights, and then I'll be happy to take questions at the end. So Klondike Road project has been closed out officially, so we won't be seeing reports for that. So always awesome to hit that milestone. The NOT has been submitted for the Lindbergh Road project. So that one's almost done. We're pretty close on that. County Highway is working on finalizing project milestone dates for the North 9th Street Road Bridge project. Ribbon cutting for River Road at 500 North occurred on November 16th. For the Morehouse project, County Highway Department is working with us to sort out funding and milestones for each phase. That's a project that got split into 2 phases, so that has created some complications with just tracking stuff and making sure that we have all of our I's dotted and T's crossed on that. So that's kind of an ongoing project. McCutcheon Pedestrian Safety Project on track for December letting, as mentioned previously. Then Bridges 80 and 83 projects, those both got amended into the TIP. And then the County Bridge Inspection Program, the next cycle of that has started, but there are some delays in the reporting at the state level, which has caused a temporary delay in getting information for the quarterly reports for that. But as far as I know, everything is still on track, so hopefully things can get sorted out there at the state level on that. Moving on to Lafayette's project, there was a slight cost increase for the South 9th Street project, and a few of the project milestones were moved around to later dates, but we should still be able to hit some of the big milestones on that one. And then the Park East Boulevard project, we are expecting that to be closed out by next quarter. For West Lafayette, construction has started for the Sagamore Parkway Trail project, and the Soldiers Home Road Phase 1 project has been split into different DES numbers. We will continue to work with West Lafayette to track that project and try to figure out what exactly the appropriate scope is for that. There has been some talk of adding in a couple roundabouts to the initial scope, so we'll have to continue to track that and see how cost and all that stuff works out. Okay, are there any questions on any of these projects?
Questions for Tim? All right, as always, thank you so very much, Tim. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is other business. Do we have any other business we need to address?
I do have one thing that's kind of just an FYI. So today we had a meeting with a representative from Amtrak, and he kind of came and talked to us about, how we might be able to partner with them. They're looking to spend some of the newly allocated federal dollars on improving their infrastructure, therefore improving their on-time performance and reliability. So that might be something that you will hear from us more about in the coming weeks. It's kind of something that we're just starting to kick off here, but just wanted to let everyone know that they kind of reached out, and it looks like they're interested in partnering with us potentially, so that's something we think might be worth exploring. So more to come on that.
Very good. Very good. Anything else on our other business? Okay, thank you. Now is a portion of our meeting when it's time for citizens' comment. Do we still have to go on the clock with that?
Yeah, the stream has a delay of about 30 seconds. So we should wait a minute to let people catch up and make a comment.
Okay, well, whoever started the clock, start it now.
All right, I'll be starting it now. Okay, it has been 1 minute and there are no public comments on Facebook or YouTube at this time.
All righty. Thank you very much. Okay, our next meeting is virtual, and it will be on January 12th of 2023. I guess we do need to take roll call to adjourn the meeting. So if somebody would please go ahead and do so. I don't have an agenda or an attendance list in front of me.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
So just go through the list. John Dennis, aye.
David Byers, aye.
Larry Leverance, aye.
Murray, aye.
Ben Murray, aye.
Peter Bunder, aye. And I think I'll try this at City Council. It'll be
Hope you have best luck. Did we get Ben Murray?
Yes, Ben Murray, aye.
And Perry?
Aye.
Okay, is that everybody?
Yes, I think that should be everyone, Mayor.
All right. It's unanimous that we adjourn the meeting, so we are now adjourned. Thank you all so very much.